All right.
There's something you can only say.
Turn down the chandelier. Oh, on it.
Oh, God.
Hi everyone, we're the Museo Aerosolar team. Hello. I'm Nisha Stone, junior, class of 2016, concentrating in anthropology.
I'm Owen Millard, class of 2015, concentrating in social analysis and research.
I'm Shiju, a first-year graduate student concentrating in American Studies. So we mainly have three primary project partners. They are Thomas, Willow, and Helga. Thomas, as an artist and architect, he is the creator of Museo Aerosolar, and he is also our primary partner. And Willow, as our professor and a person of many talents, she has been an important coordinator between other members and us. Helga, as a visual artist, she has taken the idea and action of MAS to many different corners in this world.
So we'll begin with the premise of Museo Aerosolar, and it has two parts. The first of which is the abstract, and the second is sort of as representationally speaking. So at first, the Museo Aerosolar initiative conveys a unique conception of space and energy, both anomalous and dynamic. It's not too often you see, a entirely recyclable hot air balloon that's launched into the sky, generated by a community. It's pretty unique just to think about. It's not even heated by a flame of any sort. It's purely solar energy. Secondly, the essence of the MOS is perpetuated through the ingenuity of the creator rather than doing a specific blueprint. Not any Museo Aerosolar will be similar to another. It's all it'll look different. It might have a different shape, might be a different size. It's all very unique. And then lastly, through the collaborative effort of its construction, the MOS provides a focal point for the community of channels creative energies. It sort of feeds into the previous point in that it's going to be shaped by the thoughts, sentiments, feelings, emotions, their intentions. So again, it's just, the different iteration will not be, entirely similar to another one. Representationally speaking, it's also a visual reminder of the human footprint. Because it's constructed through a recycled plastic bag, shows you exactly how many bags human beings waste, another way to repurpose them, and the potential that it has in its recycling. It also shows the potential form of aerial photography. If, for example, scientists were interested in using these balloons to, capture deforestation, for example, that's also a capability of it. If you attach a camera, you could get launched in the sky and then retrieve later. It also shows the power of solar energy. As I mentioned before, it's not heated by a flame, it's just the sun, time, and wind, which I think is a very unique aspect of it. And then once again, it shows the productivity of collaborative effort, and that it takes a whole community to bring it together, whether it be you and your friends, or you and your whole community. It's all very effort in concert. So before we go into what did work, we'll show you what sort of didn't work. It was a bumpy road for us a little bit. So first of all, was the WordPress. We were going to construct an entirely new WordPress for the Museo Aerosolar. And we found out that it wasn't exactly in our wheelhouse, in that the WordPress site, both .com and .org, are pretty constricted in what they allow you to do. So we decided to go with the Weebly platform, which is certainly free form. It's also free, which is important for us in order to continue its use. And it also just allows you to do something, pretty big with very little time. It was very quick. I think it turned out well. We'll see later. We also wanted to use one of the existing wikis to serve as a forum for existing users to share their experiences, to sort of provide another way for them to connect. However, we found out that it's hard to automate any kind of authorization against spam and other unwelcome presences. So we decided to sort of step aside from that project as well. These sort of all using old websites and emails, all user stories and pictures, and then interacting with other Museo Aerosolar groups was somewhat difficult for us because we found out that as we were creating additional Aerosolar profiles, like on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, there were accounts that were dormant, they were recently active, but regardless, it was hard to get in contact with them. So we decided that in order to sort of not waste our energies on focusing on accounts that hadn't been active for 3 years, we decided it might be best just to respect the author's vision and construct something entirely new. And if we decided that was the way they wanted to go, then more power to them. They could take it off and through our handoff plan, incorporate that into their product.
Okay, so before we explained what we did, I'd like to share with you some challenges we encountered and we overcame. The first and the biggest challenge is to get connected with our partners due to geographic problems. As you see, our partners are worldwide spread and they are in different countries and time zones. It's hard for us to sit together and talk with each other face to face. It's a pity, but we find our solution to use Skype and Gmail, and also with Willow's coordinating in between. So the second challenge is basically from the MAS organizational structure. As far as we understand, this is an organization that is horizontal and decentralized structure, which forms a quite open community. It's good for the performance of the organization, but for newcomers like us and some outsiders, if we want to get involved, it's hard for us to know who we should talk to when we have certain questions and who is responsible for what. So the third challenge is the skill sets, especially the technical skill sets. As we are building a digital community, we think that some kind of skills, especially the web making, web designing, photo and video editing are quite essential. Unfortunately, none of us in this team are expert on this, so we have to learn from scratch. And Misha contributes the most to our technical work.
So in recreating our own version of what Museo Aerosolar, we decided we wanted to approach the idea of Museo as more about a community you will buy into by following a certain number of steps and welcome to our group. It's a simple 5-step process, maybe 6, let's see. We have some community hashtags becoming Aerosolar and Museo Aerosolar, so if you're on social media, feel free to use them. And we have community forums. So the most important step, as I call step 0, is visiting our fancy website, which is museoaerosolar.weebly.com. And here is a quick video of what's on the website. Ignore the taskbar that pops up. Here's our homepage with some pretty pictures and a quick blurb of powered by Weebly, just so you know it's on free. Yay. You can learn more about Museo Aerosolar with more pictures. We took the blurb from WordPress, so there was some level of consistency between the two websites. If you like having to Google and find ours and also find the WordPress. Oh, they're the same. One of my favorite features, we created a member map. So you can't really see it that well here, but other communities that have created Zooms before have shown up on this map. And you get to hear more about this lovely piece of technology. And the most important thing can be how to join us process with a bunch of steps, some general information of what each step is about, in case we want to get like a head start, and I'll elaborate more on these steps individually. So step 1 is emailing our email address, mass.museo.aero.solar@gmail.com with our secret subject line passcode step 1. This triggers an automated response that gives the person who emails the account more information about what is incorporated in step 1 and the secret subject line passcode for steps 2, etc. Step 2 and 3 are pretty much the same. You just get more detailed information, like use this hashtag to let us see your photos, tell us more about what happened, all of that fun stuff. Step 4 is what I call the chat. This is the one place, maybe not one, but the single important place of human interaction as people apply to join the actual Google Group forums by requesting access. This way, this is a point where you can check to see if they've actually, taken pictures, if they've actually decided to do this process instead of or just going through our magical passcodes to try and join our group and haven't actually get to it. This isn't necessarily a bad thing, but we also don't want people with bad intentions on our forums.
So going through steps 1 through 4, you've received some unedited information, you've gotten some human contact for your verification of your story. Step 5 is that you receive a form. And this form allows you to enter in your name, address, country, institution, as well as like a little bit about your experience, maybe some, a highlight of it, or maybe some, a piece of advice. So then step 5B is that when you submit that form, you are then put onto this map, which we'll show you now. Loading. Okay, so as you can see right now, we have in the US, a place in Minnesota. Down there, there's a place in Colombia. As you can see, there's the address, country, institution, and then a little blurb, optionally. And there's one in France, Italy, Switzerland, there we go. UAE as well. It'll keep showing these because this video is slow. But yeah, I think it's a very unique way to show, okay, we are all part of this community. This is one effort under a bunch of different umbrellas. So please, share your story with us and connect across the world, which I think is a great aspect of the Museo, is that it's just global. All right.
So as part of our digital community class, we got many great insights from our class readings that speaks directly to our project. Here we list 3. Concerning the organization of our project, we found that the Charlie's horizontal leadership in the horizontal movement quite interesting. Because in this article, Charlie points out that we need a structured, policy-driven horizontalism that works to distribute power equally and while with effective leadership. That's what we think about the way that MAS can be improved concerning their structured organization. So so far we know that leadership is not the same thing as hierarchy, and it's more about how visions, ideas, and influence can be distributed. So in our case, we found many web pages, blogs, and social media accounts in the internet world, and we try to make all these things connected so that people can have a stronger sense of belonging. And with this aim in mind, we designed the sort of membership system and the map on our website to help us get a clear picture of the community. The second reading is Gangnam Style and Harlem Shake. This article provides an interesting discussion about the dynamics of influence distribution. So no matter it's up to bottom or bottom to up, we want to give Museo Aerosolo viral qualities, so that people can find this project is quite highly mimicable and they can be widespread on the internet without any specific directions from the leaders or directors from our project. In this sense, we see that MAS is closer to Harlem Shake. That's why we provide a to-do-yourself guidebook on our webpage so that people can join this project to make their own balloon, fly it, and upload their pictures and videos.
Notice self, don't look this.
You're talking about the last one with the attention is 80?
Yeah, and the videos make this project a trend on this internet. So the third reading.
Maybe you want to.
Okay, yeah. So the third reading is 5 ways you can give to get 5 ways you can give attention as aid. So they also indicate that the attention can be a very valuable commodity. So it says that 5 ways is first, must show the attention of broadcast media to donate attention of their own audience via social media, and to pressure the new gatekeepers, also write pre-existing attention and donate their visual and storytelling skills. So with this idea, we want people to know the multiple ways they can show support to our project. So we think that they can retweet our posts, reply to our Facebook, and like our Instagram pictures. Also, we try to collect more pictures and user stories from our audiences.
In hopes that Museo will continue to grow, our annual plan includes a style tag, which we decided it would be a good idea to create a logo of some sort for Museo. So when people see it, they can recognize, oh, this is Museo Aerosolar. This is the logo that is created. Hopefully it will be used in the future, and hopefully everybody will get to recognize it as time goes on.
We also would like to sort of explore a cohesive color palette, which was inspired by sort of a number of different things as we embarked on our Museo Aerosolar journey. The first of which is sort of the element of blue and white, which we think is inspired by both the sky as well as the air that feeds the balloon. And then the additional sort of shades of orange and yellow are inspired by the skyline that is so often seen in Museo Aerosolar pictures. That there's a lot of beautiful sunsets, and also by one of the initial balloons that was launched, and that they had a lot of different colored bags, a lot of which were orange. So it's a simple basis of that.
So the last part of our project we'd like to hand off is to pass down our social media accounts that include the Instagram, the Facebook, and Twitter. Also our Gmail, Weebly, and If This and That. How does the If This and That work? It's like when people post something, include hashtag like becoming Aerosolar or Museo Aerosolar, our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram accounts will retweet, repost these things automatically. So that's the way we want to connect people and interact with our audiences.
That is it. Thank you very much.
Do we have any questions or comments?
The mapping, is it automatically fed through Google Maps?
You really have to go on Google Maps platform, right? I haven't used it from that. Yes, it's using the magical feature that Google has that they haven't, they don't advertise so much called fusion tables. And you can link the form to the fusion table, and the fusion table automatically creates locations.
How do you guys find out about that?
Google.
He's just very.
So you just called them and said, hey, we need something.
No, it was
We're just wandering around.
it was something I needed to have done, like in an automatic process, because it's like I don't want people to have to go through and constantly feed this map. And I just found like a comment and went through that.
Yeah, could you probably give me 2 sentences about Museo Aerosolar for someone who doesn't know about?
Sure. So the Museo Aerosolar initiative, I can't really speak to the inspiration for it, given that that's Tomas's. However, so it's a community initiative where you come together as a community, and in theory, bring all your recycled bags that you have lying in your cupboard or wherever that you might repurpose for whatever reason. And then you bring all those together, you cut off the corners, anything that's not just a solid sheet of plastic, and then glue, tape, or iron them together. Then they form eventually, if you have the right, I guess, semantic or whatever design. Eventually, there's this balloon that you then sort of lay out, and given enough time, you sort of flapping it together with your friends. It fills up with hot air, and then once the sun keeps shining on it, the air heats up and lifts up.
Cool. This is kind of a nitpicky question. Isn't all that plastic then land somewhere?
So
Are they reclaimed?
So what we understand is the balloon is actually like constantly being used. It's like well, that's how it's supposed to be.
It doesn't go very far and you just go retrieve it and use it again.
Yeah, and it's also, at least in my experience, that's a question that often comes up, and that it's not one that we ask about all the plastic bags that we already have, because the plastic bags that we're already used in some way. So why do we ask this about art and not about the thing in our cupboard?
Right, because maybe it would end up on somebody's yard rather than in a landfill.
Yeah.
Which arguably is still. So does it come back down at night?
Yes.
Okay. Got it. It's not going miles away.
Does your website have all the instructions on how to do this, or does your website connect to the website that has the instructions?
Our website, once you email step 1, we actually send you like toolkit guide and a video on how to make your own.
What computer you use to have like the automatic messages go back and like prompts and stuff?
Google Labs and responses.
Okay. Cool.
That's what it is.
Stunning.
There's a lot of cool stuff on Google Apps, which is kind of dependent.
Thank you so much. Alright. I told someone they would be second, but then I don't remember who that was. Sweet.
Bye, internet.